Hi, everybody. Welcome to For Real Talkers. I'm Bobby.
I'm Jen.
And today's episode is going to be about, I'm going to let Jen tell you what it's about. What are we talking about today?
Romance, heartbreaks, and soulmates.
That's a whole lot.
It's a lot.
Okay, well, since Jennifer has introduced the topic of the day, I'm going to start off with asking her a question. So,
Oh, let me get.
well, you know what? Here's a question.
Okay.
Describe your idea of a romantic situation. What is romance to you, basically? What is it?
Romance is basic but complex. It means a lot, but it's simple. Um, I don't have any materialistic definition of what romance is, but I can tell you that um, it could just be a look, a touch when you come home and you see your mate, like in the kitchen or in the bathroom. Um, Romance is just laying in the bed on a Saturday afternoon, watching binge watching. You
Okay.
know, I mean, binge watching Godfather of Harlem or Hunters. Those are my favorite shows. But anyway, it could be something simple. It could be taking a walk in the park, just watching the water. You know, I love aesthetics. So those
Okay.
those are the simple things. We don't have to always spend money to be romantic. It's just those simple gestures that makes it romance.
Okay.
You know, I don't know. How about you, Bobby? What do you think? What's
Well,
your
I mean,
definition of romance?
I don't know if I have a real definition, but when I hear romance, it makes me think about something that takes action. It involves action. That is an action word. You need to do something, right? So romance for me is like intimacy.
Okay.
It could be physical. It
Uh-huh.
could be implied physicality.
Uh-huh.
Start with the mind. Romance my mind first before we get into the body, right? So actions. So romance could just be something that simple, something really basic, okay? But it requires action. So romance me, baby, but start with my mind before you try to get to my body. Because
Ooh,
once you encompass the mind and the body,
absolutely. I
then you'll
agree.
get to the heart.
I
All
agree.
that is connected. And if you want to know how to get the key to my heart, that's it right there. The
I
mind, the body, bring those two things together. Keep your words and actions together,
I agree.
and you can get the key to my heart. I know that wasn't the question, but anyway. So
I
that's
mean,
romance. What you tell me?
well,
What's a romantic situation? Give an example in case
well,
that guy is listening and he want to know what to do.
like I said before, a romantic situation for me is very simple. Like, Jen, let's take a walk. Let's go into the park. Let's walk. Let's hold hands. I don't require that much. I mean, and I'm real simple when it
Okay.
comes to romance. It could be like a random text, or like I come home and there's a bouquet of flowers. Just don't get me flowers on Valentine's Day and Mother's Day.
I know that's right.
But just random acts, just to make me feel like the romance is still there.
Exactly.
I'll come home and I'm gonna cook for you. You know, candlelights when I come inside the house. Again, you don't have to spend a lot of money in order to be romantic.
Okay.
You just gotta
Take
know
some
like
actions.
know what your partner's love language is. And if your partner's love language is those acts of service, those acts of kindness, then do that. Some people have different love languages that leads them to romance. It might be material gifts, and I'm not knocking that.
Yes.
It could be acts of service, like, oh my God, you put together my exercise bike, or you fixed my car. I am so turned on right now by somebody who fixed my car. Like, all of those things are romantic gestures to get me excited.
Right.
Just, and it goes for both ways, women and men. Like, don't just come in thinking, all right, I already got the cow, so I don't have to. You got to
Keep it going. Keep the
it
romance
going.
going.
Exactly. So tell me, what's your, a
Well,
description of romance?
I was listening to you talk, and I was just thinking that sometimes we might not know what the other person or our partner would think is romantic. We might not really know. And so if you want it to be a surprise and just, be a little thoughtful, be creative, but you can kind of talk to your partner along the way. Don't wait until that moment comes where you want to do something romantic.
Yes.
Find out who the person is, what they like, what they
Yes.
don't like. Because, of course, when you're going to romance somebody, in my opinion, you have to meet them on their level of understanding of romance, right? So if in order to do that, you got to know what's special to them. You got to know what would excite them. You got to know what would give them that feel of, oh, romance, this is so special that he actually or she did this thing for me. So find out along the way throughout general conversation. Pay attention. Guys, pay attention, because most women tell you what they like and what they don't like. We tell you what we want. We say these things in general conversation, so put it together in romance. But real quick, I'm just going to say, for me, something simple. Sometimes less is more. You can take me on a walk on the beach. I like the beach at night. Have a little blanket where we can sit down with our bottle of wine, soft music, good conversation.
I like
and
that.
To me, that's very intimate. For me, romance, just, share some intimate time with me.
Yeah.
That's romantic for me.
It's not structured. It's spontaneous. It's just like out of the blue, I love that.
Wait, but I want to say it don't have to be spontaneous. It could be planned.
It could be planned.
It could be planned.
However, it's also good to just, just
to be spontaneous.
Random, like just be spontaneous. Bobby, I have a question for you.
Okay.
It relates to romance, though.
Okay.
What is your idea of a soulmate? What does a soulmate mean to you?
Wow. A soulmate to me, it just means that we mesh so well together on almost every level. Now, because nothing is 100%, but honey, if you believe in God, and especially if you talk to the Father and you ask Him for signs, please recognize those signs. I think also pray and ask Him for discernment, so you could really understand what it is when it is there. And I don't know if I'm answering your question, but I feel like I'm gonna start getting a little bit too deep.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Everybody needs to know on every level. It's okay. I understand. I mean, for me, a soulmate, I've said it before, like I've met my soulmate. Can you have more than one at different stages in your life? Yeah. I believe you can. Okay. But you can't have, there's still far and few between. A soulmate is not every person that comes in, every individual that comes into your life. I do believe that you can have one or two during the duration of your life. Or you can have that one that passed you in the night that came back maybe 20 years later and you're still connected. You know what I mean? After you kissed all the frogs. And it's bigger than sexual intercourse. Absolutely. For me, soulmate is just someone who they're just in your mind, and their mind just work well together, right? It's just the mind, it works well. Yep. You can walk into a room and y'all don't have to say a word. Y'all could just connect, and you're on that same level. So I truly agree with you regarding what a soulmate is. It's just a feeling you get. And when you know. But sometimes people, I think they get afraid, and they feeling like, oh, this is too good to be true. And then they look for excuses. So are you that type of person that you will sabotage something that's really, really good because it's too good? It seems too good to be true? I will admit I'm good at self-sabotage. But I'm getting through that. I'm good at that. Already, okay, it's not gonna work out. So I'm good at that. But I'm working through those issues. I truly am. I have a last question for you before we wrap up. Okay. Right? What is the biggest lesson you learned from your worst breakup or your worst heartbreak? What's the biggest lesson you learned? I'm sad to say this. I haven't had any major breakups. My breakups have been just, breakup for pretty much because I needed to break up with that person. But someone I truly loved dearly, and I was with him, for a few years, and he cheated.
And to me, if you know, sometimes you can repair a relationship. You try
Mm-hmm.
and forgive the person and you're able to repair it. But I think it takes a lot of work, and the work comes on behalf of both people. You
Mm-hmm.
cannot lose patience because you want the person to forgive you in 2 weeks, 2 months. They working on it. If
Yeah.
they still have questions, if they still need to talk about it, or they need a certain behavior to take place
Yeah.
with you that maybe it wasn't there, then you got to be willing to be a little bit more flexible.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the biggest lesson that I've learned from that experience is that if you really feel like you can't get past it, then just forgive so that your heart can be free to move on, so that you can be available to
For the
give it to someone
next
else.
Prince.
But do not stay and
King.
keep going back if you really know that you can't get over it, because all
Right.
you're doing is wasting your valuable time and his or her valuable time.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we won't go into cheating because that's another episode. Because you mentioned cheating. We're going to wrap this episode up. And we want y'all to comment.
Yes. Comment.
Tell us how you feel
Yes,
about what
yes,
we were
yes.
talking about today.
Yes.
I mean, you could just meet us on all social media platforms.
Yes.
And the next time we come to you, we're going to be talking about cheating. That's deep, y'all. I don't know. I hope y'all ready for deep.
Well, Jen, I don't know if you remember, but we do have something posted on our YouTube channel about cheating.
Oh.
Well, we were out at a club called Minton's, and we talked to a few of the people there.
Yes,
so
we did.
Subscribe to our channel on YouTube.
YouTube.
And go check it out. We have some guys that we talked to about cheating. So it's there, right there on YouTube.
Facebook. We're going to see you later.
Yes, okay.
All right.
So thank you so much for joining us today. This is For Real Talkers with real people.
Say real things.
Mwah.